Good morning and welcome to Michigan Matters. Forgotten Harvest has been rescuing surplus food from restaurants and other places since 1990 and then delivering it to emergency food shelters across Metro Detroit. But the need here is even greater. We're talking with Adrian Lewis, their CEO, and hear how the community is stepping up to help. Then the roundtable of Jim Holcomb, Marvin Beatty, and Jeff Donofrio is here to discuss the state of education, business, and talent retention. It's a show about helping those in need and making our state stronger. Let's get started.
From CBS Detroit, this is Michigan Matters with Carol Kane. Michigan Matters is brought to you in part by Cure Auto Insurance.
And we're so pleased to welcome Adrian Lewis, who is President and CEO of Forgotten Harvest, the nonprofit helping bring surplus food to emergency shelters all across Metro Detroit in various ways here. I've been wanting to have you on the show for so long. I'm so glad you're here. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Carol. Thank you for having me.
Well, I was just trying to think. It seems like you got there just yesterday, but how long has it been since you joined?
You know, it's coming up on 3 years.
Oh, my gosh.
3 fast years that obviously there's a lot happening.
Yeah.
But it's been 3 of the most valued years of my life. It's been a great 3-year run.
Well, it's talk about impact. Forgotten Harvest is everywhere. I see signs about you guys, and I see programs you're doing. Every nonprofit organization that I've been talking to in recent weeks and months is telling me the same story, the tremendous need that's out there here throughout Metro Detroit, our region, and particularly this time of year where the winter months are setting in, the holiday season. From your perch, what you're doing at Forgotten Harvest, how are you seeing the situation?
I will tell you, Carol, what we're seeing obviously is an increase for demand. If you think about some of the activities that's happening in the whole space, right, whereas we have over 200 distribution partners throughout Wayne, Oakland, Macomb County. So those distribution partners tell us that they're seeing as many as a 20 to 30% increase in demand.
Wow.
And my team and I, more especially our volunteer team as well, we're meeting that demand as best as possible.
So I read the statistic, and I wanted to check it with you to say, is this possibly true? Are you collecting over 50 million pounds of food each year? This is now excess prepared food from restaurants or perishable food from restaurants or other places. Is that true? Is that how much?
That is. I would say last year, to be exact, it was 47 million pounds. So very close to that, and we're going to be getting there this year. Looks like we're on track to be very close to that. And you think about the surplus nutritious food that's out there, whether it be, again, we have great partnerships with Kroger, Meijer, Sam's, all of those great retailers that are out there, as well as we have a farm, 100-acre farm that we're harvesting, and a lot of surplus partners out there that donates to us as well.
And I know a big part of what helps, keeps the engines running are the volunteers too, right? Talk a little bit about them, how many and what they do.
I get excited when I do talk about them because if I look at our staff, which is a little over 100 members, and be able to distribute as much as almost 50 million pounds, it takes dedicated volunteers. And that volunteer experience comes with them visiting our website and identifying where they can help. In many cases is at our campus on 8 Mile, but also to many of our distribution partners as well. But more especially to our farm that I just mentioned.
All right. For folks who may be unfamiliar, talk a little bit about the process. So you pick up whatever. Give me an example. What would you pick up from, let's say, a typical Meijer store or Kroger?
Yeah, let's say a typical Meijer or Kroger store. Let's say that store may have had, let's call it a skid of Lunchables. Those Lunchables may be, they had a sale on them, and they may have a week and a half left on them before the expiration date. Still fresh, right?
Right.
Those retailers know that we're agile enough to be able to get that product, no matter what the quantity is, and get it into the right place, right time, and get it into those that need it in the time that it's still fresh. So it's surplus, but it's nutritious, and then we're able to get it out free of charge.
So you have a warehouse too?
We do. 80,000 square feet.
And you bring things there, keep things there, and it's a logistical process you go through.
Yeah. I tease my friends and colleagues that we are a logistics company that loves to feed people, feed our community.
If somebody watching this, let's say there's a retailer, grocery store, independent grocery store, can they call you and saying, hey, listen, we've got this too, we bought a bunch of fresh turkeys, we've only sold, we've got these left kind of thing?
Absolutely. And our team, our donor team, as well as our procurement team, they're ready. They're at the phones ready for opportunities such as that. We have actually over 500 donor partners. However, we need more. So anytime there's smaller grocery chains or individual processors that have excess surplus nutritious foods, we can get there really quick.
And you know what? We're going to continue this conversation, but we're going to take a quick break and be back with more Michigan Matters after this.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Michigan Matters. We're talking with Adrienne Lewis, who runs Forgotten Harvest, wonderful organization, helping to feed people in need across our region. So I'm curious, who actually started Forgotten Harvest?
Dr. Nancy Fishman. Okay. What an incredible person, leader. And this is year 35 for us. So in 1990, Dr. Nancy Fishman, she started Forgotten Harvest, and it began just by her overcoming, shortly after she overcame a bad situation herself, she vowed that she would do everything possible to fight food insecurity and hunger. And she started with her Jeep, going around doing collections and such and rescuing. And now that's expanded 35 years later. So we have over 55 vehicles on the road 6 days a week, wow, rescuing and delivering fresh, nutritious food.
So you have this 50 tons of food that's being, recycled into helping people. How many people are being helped? Do you ever have numbers from?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you think about, each year, we have fed almost 700,000 households.
Wow.
Right? To be able to do that, it takes a monumental effort.
And you do all Southeast Michigan. How far flung is the distribution?
So the distribution is Wayne, Oakland, Macomb County.
Okay.
And we're touching every community because hunger exists in every community.
Everywhere. So you talked about your farm. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. So our farm is 100 acres. It's located in Fenton, Michigan. And we have 5 staff members there. We have two farmers and 2 assistants there. And we harvest, we grow vegetables such as fresh collard greens, all of the squashes. We had watermelon this season as well. So if you think about from farm to table, yeah, that's what we need. And we also specialize in equitable distributions to make sure that the food that we do rescue, that we're hitting all of those different categories.
So we're here in the holidays, and everybody kind of opens their pocketbooks a little bit more, those who can, to give a little bit more. What are your needs right now as an organization?
Our needs right now is, as the supplies the demand rather has increased, we're always seem to be running short of animal protein. So you think about the fresh vegetables, which we grow in many cases, but there's other categories that sometimes there's shortages, and protein seems to be the one that comes up quite often.
So with the retailers, the grocers, you're not getting protein, you're getting more fruits and vegetables type thing?
Absolutely. And now, what I will say to you as well, Carol, we love food donations. However, the financial donations, yes, that allows us to purchase food, in that case, our dollars can stretch much further than the retail dollars that maybe someone may go and purchase that. So for every dollar that's donated to us, we can get $10 worth of groceries.
Wow. You have done an amazing job of partnering with companies, other organizations in the mission of helping to feed people. Talk a little bit about some of these partners. You mentioned Kroger and Meijer. Talk a little about some of the others as well.
Yes. There's a fundamental belief out there that, you think about basic needs and everything that we need as a community to thrive. It takes us, individuals being able to receive a hand up at times. So that's going to take collaborative efforts. And I pride myself and my team prides itself on being able to reach across the aisle, whether it be other food banks, other partner pantries, but more especially groups that can give like a wraparound setting, right? So many of our local banks, we partner for financial literacy to help with that. We also have recent partnerships with DHHS, as well as Alliance Equity, which is located on the west side of Detroit. Many others, and as you begin to say names, sometimes you
okay. You don't want to say which child you like the best. I
absolutely.
Get it.
but there's some great conversation existing right now in that space, and I'm really happy to be able to lead some of those conversations, but more especially just be a part of it.
Well, I was pleased to read that you are the Detroit Auto Dealers at the upcoming Detroit Auto Show in mid-January has this gallery of these incredible cars, these fancier cars, these collectible, cars that you don't see on the streets very often, and they have them on display and sell tickets, and they're raising money to go towards Forgotten Harvest.
Absolutely, and that's one partnership that I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
Sam Clement, the executive director of Detroit Auto Show, he and I spent quite a bit of time understanding how we can make this event the best possible. And the way to do that is we have the day before the charity event, there's going to be an event specifically for Forgotten Harvest and all of the unique cars that are available for those visitors to see. And to be able to purchase a ticket and support Forgotten Harvest is what I would encourage everyone to do today. So if you're a car enthusiast or you just want to get out and just really support and have a great evening, I'd really appreciate that.
Are you a car guy?
I am.
You and Sam probably broke it down, talk a little bit about cars too.
Absolutely. So there's no secret that I like the older school cars, and I do. My dream car is a Buick Electra 1976 Deuce and a Quarter. That's
you're going way back.
That's the older model.
You're going back.
Now, what I would love to have today is we had an amazing event at the Ferrari dealership over in West Bloomfield there, and that was amazing. Any Ferrari on that sales floor, I would take it.
Yeah, you get on the lodge, you probably lose your license in a matter of 6 months because they keep stopping if you want 1 mile over the limit.
Yeah.
Like radar red, as they call that.
Yeah, Mr. McCauley, he warned me about that when I was looking at those. But
Be careful.
I'm ready.
Adrian, thank you so much for being here, and happy holidays to you and all that sort of stuff. Doing great stuff here, and we're going to just watch as you continue to help the community in so many important ways.
And thank you, Carol, for highlighting the awareness. And one thing I would say, this is definitely a time to be aware of food insecurity and hunger, but it happens 365 days a year in every neighborhood, and we should be better aware of that as well.
Very well said. Thanks for being here. And keep it right here. We're back with more Michigan Matters after this. Welcome back to Michigan Matters. We're now joined by the supercharged business panel of Jeff Holcomb, who's president and CEO of the Michigan Chamber of Commerce, Marvin Beatty, well-known community leader who works Hollywood Casino at Greektown, and Jeff Donofrio, president and CEO of Business Leaders for Michigan. Morning. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
We're going to dive in on business things here, but Marvin, want to give you a quick shout-out over at Hollywood Casino at Greektown. 25th anniversary. That's a big deal.
Years. 25 years. Oh, it's a huge deal. And, we reflect back and, we have over 200 team members that started with us 25 years ago.
Really? That must be some sort of record.
Which is a remarkable number. We have over 1,000 people, and to think about 200 of them are, day oneers.
Wow.
I'm so very proud of it. And, they've changed their lives. They've been able to educate their kids. They've been able to buy homes and just really just change their lives. And it's been a remarkable trip for me.
Well, kudos.
To have been a part of.
Kudos to all the stuff you guys are doing, giving back community in different ways here. Well, speaking of community, Jeff, you put out a report which got a lot of headlines, people still talking about it, trying to challenging the community to do better on things like talent retention, business, education. So give us the quick thumbnail of why you did this report and what was the headline.
Well, in Michigan, the New Era report, I mean, it's because there's a lot of, I think, change happening. It's accelerating. The gap between those who have the tools to succeed and those who are going to struggle is just getting wider. And so we have to make sure that we're prepared for the future, that we are going to compete and win for our kids. So we've got to transform education as a big issue. We've fallen from 16th to 44th in fourth grade reading over the last 30 years. We've got to make sure that we are making it easy to build and grow here, whether that's construction for housing, whether that's creating a new business, being an entrepreneur. And then we've got to activate our economic potential. We've got to make sure that we have a well-functioning economic development system to create those high-wage jobs.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Jim, let me just ask you on the education. Well, I know we could talk just about each one of those. There's been a whole show on it. But the education front, I know this has been something important to you, too.
Oh, absolutely. We're failing our kids. We're failing families. We're failing our communities. We need to find a way to get the investment into the schools, but making sure that every kid has the tools that they need to succeed. Every child is different, and we need to focus on the children and look at our structure and say, what do we need to change to make sure success is available for everyone?
And I know, Marvin, this is extremely important. You're involved in so many different organizations.
Sure. But you can't take books out of schools and expect children to learn.
There we go. That's no doubt about that here. Well, many, many things here. Curious, though, will you put out your report now?
Yep.
Is it coincidence, and I'm going to say probably not, that next year is a gigantic political year? We've got elections going on here with the governor, U.S. Senate, just about every job is up for grabs next year, and wide open races on things. Are you trying to influence what the conversation in these campaigns might be with this?
Well, every couple of years we put out a plan for Michigan. And yes, we try to do it before an election year, but it's for leaders today, and they're taking note of it.
Even though they're lame duck or term limited and won't be there maybe?
Hey, they're in the seat. They've got the levers of power, right? They have the ability to put money and resources into solving problems. But it is for the leaders tomorrow. I mean, we are a general purple state. We go back and forth. We might have an independent governor. There's a lot on the table and a lot at stake for Michigan in the future.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to talk with you, Marvin, since the election took place on November 4th. I know many, well-known people who are very involved in different races. You were involved with Chantel. And now that Mary has won and she's the mayor-elect, your thoughts about her and what she's expecting?
Excited for her. Excited for the city. I think she's the right person for the right time. The people in the community decided that, and I think we have every responsibility, all of us, business, labor, everybody, to step in behind her, to give her a chance. Give her a chance in the media to show what her capabilities are.
Yeah.
Because we know how difficult it can be when the media decides that they have an issue.
Yeah, she won't have the advantage that my Doug had coming in of having in Washington with Joe Biden as VP and then coming in as president. And even though the pandemic was a nightmare, there were lots of dollars that came in that helped. You had a bankruptcy, so a whole bunch of things there, and there's not going to be those same resources there.
It's a tough road for her. And I mean, she's putting together a good transition team, and hopefully they'll come with a product that is productive. And understands the needs of the community every day.
Yeah. And Jim, business is your thing. You're Michigan.
Absolutely.
And I hear so much, too, from people, particularly business people, starting up about increased regulations here, that in the cities there's undue regulation, and at the state, and it's harder to start something here. Is that something that you're hearing?
Absolutely. I think Jeff report talks about that. It's harder. We have so much bureaucracy and red tape that you're strangling small businesses. Those entrepreneurs, the people who are inventing the next great thing, we need to support them. A big part of that, too, is legal reform. Our legal climate in Michigan is strangling business, causing families to incur probably $3,000 a year extra costs, costing us about $100,000 or 100,000 jobs a year. And we have a bad reputation for it. That really harms growth. We need growth for our population. We need growth in business. We need growth in our communities. And if we want to get serious, we have to look at legal reform. That's why we started the Michigan Alliance for Legal Reform to hopefully make a difference.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here, continue the conversation, talk a little bit more about business and other things. Keep it right here. And welcome back. We're talking with Jim Holcomb, Marvin Beatty, and Jeff Donofrio about the BLM's report about making the state more competitive. Let's talk about business here. And Marvin, I know you operate in Detroit with some things. I know you advise people. I remember back when Dennis Archer was mayor, and they were trying to make it efficient to go in and just, go and get all the things you do to start up a
One-stop
business,
shop.
one stop. And
That's right.
I don't think it ever was accomplished. How is it today? Describe it.
It's a challenge. It continues to be a challenge, and I mean, as the city has evolved and more businesses have opened and more people have been hired, but each person has their own standard by which they want to apply the law, and it's a challenge for people. And businesses are always looking for an easier path, not the shortcut, not to cheat, but just an easier path to go to work.
So your family, Jeff, comes out of the restaurant
right.
business, so you have a lot of experience with this. Your thoughts? I mean, and this is not just Detroit. This is our whole state and regulatory versus other states. Well, I'll come to that for you, but with like restaurants, let's take that as an example.
Well, I think there was an article that said there were 77 steps to open up a restaurant in Detroit, right? It's 36 people you have to talk to. It's $6,500. My family, they just wanted to serve their customers, right? They just wanted to go out. They didn't want to have to be a lawyer and an HR professional and a lobbyist. They just want to go out and make this easy. So, our report talks about make it easier to build, make it easier to grow, make it easier to be an entrepreneur, because time, inefficiency, delays, it's costly. And so every voter is talking about that too.
Yeah.
And from the statewide, are we losing businesses into other places?
Absolutely. When I talk to my colleagues across the country, it's not always about money. It's not that they're handing out checks. They're coming to businesses in Michigan saying, we will help you, we'll support you, we'll make it easy for you to achieve your goals, to build your business, to serve your customers and your employees. And I think we need to get back focused on that. As Jeff was saying, it's about making it easier. That is not a shortcut. It's about reducing the burdensome regulation, and it's about making sure that we have consistent standards across the state so you know what you're dealing with.
So this, recently, Governor Whitmer came out in support of a new data center that is going to be, it's being proposed for Saline. DTE's involved, Stephen Ross is involved, others are involved. It basically is helping to energize the new, I don't want to say economy, but new streaming services and other things like that. Your thoughts about this? Is this a good thing for the state?
I think
to have more of not just that particular project, but having a location, having these data, what they're coming up every week. It seems like there's another one being proposed in this community or that community.
I think it's great that we're on the drawing board. I think it's great that people are coming to us. We want to be part of the future. We want to be a welcoming state where people can come, live, grow their business, raise their family, strengthen their community. We just need to make sure we have great transparency and that the public is involved, stakeholders are involved, and I think that's what people are trying to do. They're trying to make sure the data and facts are driving the development.
So do you support them having open hearings on all? I know DT was trying to fast pedal and get things in quickly on some of this.
Yeah, we do support transparency and open hearings. I know there was one last night. We participated in that, and they took a lot of comment. I think it's important. And then Saline, I think there was 10 or 15 local hearings as well.
Yeah.
So making sure the people have a voice is always important, but we need to make sure that we aren't dilatory in our decision making. You don't want to stifle it by letting it, again, with regulatory burdens, really keep you from making a decision.
How do you think, I mean, you've been obviously at the forefront of this with what you're doing, leading business leaders from Michigan, which is what, how many CEOs?
100 CEOs, yeah.
Of the major corporations around the
largest
state?
employers, largest universities, yeah.
Yeah, so how do you think, is Michigan getting better at being more competitive?
I think we've had challenges in slow growth, right? And as we look at 30 or 40 years of maybe growing slower than other states, it means we've got to be more efficient. It means we've got to be working harder to make sure it's easy to invest, it's easier to start a business, easier to create a job, and that our workforce, our population, our kids have the tools they need to succeed.
Yeah, and the talent retention, which is a huge issue too.
That's right.
And your report obviously delved into that.
That's right. I mean, you have to, of course, have the job opportunities that people are attracted to, both to stay here and to come here.
There we go. So many issues, so many topics, so little time. We're out of it. I hate to say that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks to you at home for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next weekend for a little bit more Michigan Matters.